Ever feel like, you were meant for something? Like even before you were born, there was this plan, the specific thing you were meant to do.
Oh, absolutely. It's like a pre-written chapter in the story of you.
Exactly. And that's what we're diving into today. This whole concept of foreordination.
It's a powerful idea, and we're pulling insights from a talk by Elder Stephen R. Bangerter aimed at, well, young people in the Latter-day Saints faith.
Right. And even if that's not your background, stick with us because this isn't about, pushing any one belief system.
That's right. It's about exploring a fascinating concept. What if our purpose, our reason for being here, started before this life even began?
Okay, so let's unpack this foreordination thing. Elder Bangerter talks about this premortal existence where we lived with God, made choices that still affect us now.
It's wild, right?
It really is. And some were even given specific missions, things to tackle during their time on Earth. It's like we came in with cosmic to-do lists.
I love that.
Yeah.
Cosmic to-do list. What was it about all this that really stood out to you?
For me, it was how this idea, this pre-earthly existence, it's not unique to just one religion or culture.
You're right. You see echoes of it everywhere. Ancient Greek philosophy, Hindu thought, even in the Kabbalah.
Exactly. It's this idea that we chose to come to Earth to learn and grow in these physical bodies.
But here's the thing. It's not like those pre-life choices completely override the choices we make now. It's more like,
A collaboration.
yes, it's this fascinating interplay. Our choices before and our choices now, they both kind of weave into the tapestry of our opportunities.
So it's not like we're locked into a destiny that's already been decided. We still have free will.
Exactly. That's where this idea of agency comes in, right? Elder Bangerter's really clear on that. It's this dance between, say, a natural inclination toward something. Maybe you were, I don't know, composing symphonies in the premortal realm.
Who knows, right?
Right. But in this life, it's up to you to practice, to develop that talent, or even to walk away from it entirely.
So it's more like we're handed a set of tools, maybe some blueprints, but the actual building, the doing, that's our free will at work.
I like that. And, it makes me think about Elder Bangerter's story about his father and how he'd always stress the importance of what he called the private times in life.
Those moments of quiet reflection when you're really alone with your thoughts.
Exactly. It's about connecting with that inner voice, that sense of knowing that often gets drowned out by the noise of, well, life.
See, when I first heard that, I thought, oh, like avoiding trouble, which as a teenager was probably good advice anyway.
Right. But it's deeper than that, isn't it?
Much deeper. It's about, like you said, connecting with that inner voice. Maybe even that sense of purpose, regardless of what you call it.
And, that resonates with me even outside the idea of, a predetermined path. Like, I'm a big journaler, and it's in those quiet moments, pen to paper, that I feel like I get clarity on, what I truly value, what direction I want my life to go.
It's like those quiet moments give us the space to actually hear ourselves think.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it. Whether you're meditating, taking a walk in nature, or yes, even journaling, those are all forms of protecting your private times.
Creating space for introspection, regardless of your beliefs. It's interesting though, right? We're so quick to look for these huge, obvious signs about our purpose, when Elder Banger is saying it's maybe in those quiet moments, the ones we almost take for granted, that's where the magic is.
Oh, I totally agree. Like that Rumi quote, what you seek is seeking you, It's not about some outside force controlling everything. It's more about tuning into something that's already there, that inner voice.
I love that. And it reminds me of how Elder Bangerter talks about those private times leading to some big personal revelations, like really profound stuff, discovering how important the Book of Mormon was to him, feeling God's presence. Those were huge for him. But how does he tie those experiences back to foreordination? Is it like getting direct instructions, or is it more subtle than that?
That's where it gets really cool, I think. It's not like getting a step-by-step guide to your life, more like getting a feel for a greater purpose. He talks about those quiet times as chances to tap into this, well, source of wisdom that's bigger than just us.
So it's less, you will do this specific thing, and more, here's a nudge, go figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it like this. We're given a map and a compass, right? The map shows us the land, but we get to choose how we travel through it, how to deal with the obstacles, what we learn along the way.
And that makes me wonder, does everyone get the same kind of map? Like, are some people's journeys just more, I don't know, more defined because of what they chose before they were born?
That's such a good question. And honestly, Elder Bangerter doesn't shy away from it at all. He says, yeah, some people might feel like they've always known their purpose, while others spend years searching, even their whole lives. But the important thing is, Everyone has something to give, something valuable and unique.
So no comparing, no being jealous of someone else's, what did he call them? Foreordained blessings. We're all on our own paths.
Exactly. It's not a race or a competition,
Yeah.
right? We each have things we go through, talents, challenges, they're all different. And it's in those challenges, Elder Bangerter says, we figure out our strengths. He even talks about how some of the things he thought were failures, setbacks, turned out to be like turning points that got him where he needed to be.
It's like sometimes you win, sometimes you learn.
Yes. And it's those learning times, the times we really have to dig deep and rely on ourselves, that's often when we realize what we're truly capable of.
It's so easy to get caught up in wanting to have everything planned out, like just follow the script. But life, it's messy, isn't it?
Totally.
And it's in that mess, the unpredictable stuff, that we learn the most about who we are. It's like we're all working on these giant puzzles, but no picture on the box. We just have to figure it out as we go, one piece at a time.
Maybe that's the whole point, right? The figuring it out, the getting frustrated, then that aha moment when things click into place.
Mhm.
It's all part of the process.
So bringing it back to Elder Bangerter, what would you say is the main takeaway, especially for someone who's like, okay, this foreordination stuff is pretty interesting, but what am I supposed to do with it?
That is the question, isn't it? And
Oh.
for me, it comes down to this. Whether or not you believe in a premortal existence, we all do better when we have a sense of purpose, right? Even if we don't have all the answers right now. It's about knowing your values, working on your talents, and making choices that, I don't know, feel like they matter, like they're part of something bigger.
And it starts with those private times, right? Like Elder Bangerter's dad was saying, taking the time for that quiet reflection.
Exactly. Making space in your life to actually hear yourself think, hear that inner voice. It's always there. You just have to tune in.
It's like we're all on autopilot sometimes, and we have to hit pause and ask, wait, where am I going with this? Is this
Yeah.
even where I want to be going?
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be complicated. 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, writing in a journal, even just paying attention to those moments of inspiration, when something just clicks.
Yeah.
Those can all be powerful.
So it sounds like whether you believe you were literally chosen for something before you were born or you're still figuring things out, it's really about living with intention.
Yeah.
Actively searching for meaning in your life.
Yes. And being brave enough to trust your gut. Make those choices that align with your values, even if they scare you a little.
Maybe it's about realizing we have more power to create our own story than we think.
And sometimes that's a more amazing thought than any predetermined plan.
So as you're navigating, life, remember to make time for those quiet moments, listen to your intuition, and never underestimate your ability to do incredible things. That's it for this deep dive into foreordination. We hope you enjoyed it, maybe even found it helpful. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.